Disclaimer, a lot of this video is mainly a shitpost. I'll take all the ideas I like very seriously, but expect a ton of joke ideas on here since life can use comedy every once in a while. I like Genshin Impact. Here are match ideas for every playable character in this game. These ideas aren't limited to just death battle, because like, why limit these types of videos to just one versus show when you can broaden your scope with general verses? Also, I'm not gonna go in depth on who wins or not, because I don't really care. Alright, let's start. Albedo vs Hohenheim from Full Metal Alchemist. Two mysterious homuncular alchemists who search for the truth of the worlds. Simple, and it's good. I've seen people like pit Albedo against Ed, but I think Hohenheim works more. That's all I have to say. Alhaitham. Okay, so I know Alhaitham isn't technically playable yet, but at the time of this recording, all we've gotten so far is Alhaitham's teaser. Since he's like a major character in the Archon quest, I feel like I should at least give him an idea. And the one idea that I always came to for Alhaitham was a little character named Ketching from Genshin Impact. Both are major characters in their respective Archon quests, and they have the exact same moves. Yeah, perfect. Aloy versus Link from Breath of the Wild. This was the one idea I kept seeing for popular Genshin Impact character Aloy here. Don't really get it, but the renders match a lot, so that's a-okay. Amber versus Mei from Overwatch. Outgoing people who are the only members of a subdivision of a heroic organization, and they also got little mascots that they use in battle. Also, if this isn't obvious enough, Fire versus Ice, because contrast exists. Alright, shut up! It's time for a big boy match idea. Y'all ready? Okay. Arataki Ito versus Kasuga Ichiban from the Ryuga Gotoku series. Dumbasses with hearts of gold, these charismatic men are well liked by the gang that they formed and the cities that they reside in. But they mainly fight for the people they love, especially the blue-clad family members that rejected them. Also, their weapons of choice are giant blood objects, the Kanobo for Ito and baseball bats for Ichi. So I don't know if I did a good enough explanation for this idea or not, but like, trust me, this idea is really good, and it's mainly sold on the interaction that both Ito and Ichiban could have. If you don't know much about Like a Dragon or Ryuga Gotoku 7, all the enemies that the Ichiban sees are like exaggerated, and those are explained by being figments of his imagination. So like, I think the setup for this fight is that Ichiban sees Ito, thinks he's just some guy, and Ito is just so confused at what this guy is saying, and then they just start fighting all the time. And I think that's hilarious, honestly. And also, considering both games have parties of 4 and 4, I feel like it would be a missed opportunity if you didn't include like some of their closer allies. Like, obviously for Ito, you're not gonna get some the members of his gang, because they're pretty much nobodies. But you can at least include Kuki, since she's a playable character. And for Ichi, you can match that with like Nanba. I don't know. I think this idea is like really neat, and looking at ideas for Ito and just like having this sit with me for like a while. Honestly, this just became my favorite idea for Ichiban, and one of my favorite ideas general. So yeah. Barbara. Hold on. I don't have an idea for Barbara. Shit. Since I can't think of any ideas for Barbara, I think it's just best if I just look one up. Alright, let's do this. Let's see here. Okay, sure, this one, why not? Beidou versus Francis Drake from Fate. Pirate captains known across the world for their bravery and unmatched power. Fun facts, I was gonna go with Darlie Dagger from Sam's show, but I realized Darlie isn't a pirate. So I opted out for Beidou's popular idea. Bennett versus Mile Murphy from Mile Murphy's Law. Very unlucky boys who bring calamity to those around them. Good idea. Candace versus Urbosa from the Legend of Zelda series. Protectors of a desert village, they are ruthless to those who break their village rules, yet kind and caring to those who know them. Also, their most popular item associated with them are their shields. Yeah. Chongyun versus the Ghostbusters. Yeah, sure, why not? Fuck it. See, if you include Xingqiu, Xiangling, and Hu Tao, you can make it a 4v4. Perfect. Well, all of a sudden I want fan art of Liyue friends in Ghostbuster uniforms. That'd be sick. Kalai versus Lysithia from Fire Emblem 3 Houses. People who were experimented on by evil groups, causing their lives to be shortened dramatically. I don't have much else to say. This is the first Fire Emblem idea you're gonna see on this list. Cyno versus Sayu. They both have white hair, make terrible puns, are a fan of card games, like to bring justice to their enemies. Hey, they're even voiced by the same guy! Diluc versus Batman from DC. One is the Dark Knight hero, and the other is a Dark Knight. Suspicious. But besides that, both are wealthy people who, after the death of their fathers, traveled the entire world and swore to fight against the very thing that killed their fathers, the Fatui and organized crime, respectively. Unironically, I love this idea for the pure simplicity of me being a huge fan of both characters, and that's all I have to say about it. Wink. Diona versus Rex Mose from Scott the Woz. People with intense anger issues who have an undying hatred for alcoholism. Dori versus Anna from Fire Emblem. Merchants who will do anything for a profit for the simple fact that they love capitalism. Eula versus Weiss from Ruby. So this is the popular idea for Eula, and without looking it up, I'm gonna guess that the connections are women from disgraced families who desire to redeem their family name and their own by opposing them. They also fight with ice and implement dancing into their combat. This either shows how much I know about Eula or how little I know about Weiss. You decide. Farazan versus Captain America from Marvel. Legendary figures who were trapped for over a century, only to re-emerge in the modern day to be as useful as the day they left. Both learned that their ideals are outdated, and both tried to adapt to modern life. What more can I say? Good idea! Fischl versus Zeke von Genbu from Xenoblade Chronicles. Eye patch-wearing electric users with flamboyant personalities. Both also travel alongside companions that aid them in battle.
Hey guys, text-to-speech Narrow here. Just wanted to say since I forged her to record it, but I also wrote a fight script for my friend Eve's birthday. You should read it linked below and also give her money for art.
Alright, so Ganyu's next, and I can't really think of any ideas for her. Fortunately, I found this video from this guy named Connor, who also has similar takes as me, so I figured it'd be better if I just steal an idea from him. Let's look for Ganyu. Yeah, there you go. There's your idea. I don't know. Hutao versus Hanako from Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. They just look similar, and they both have a thing for pranking and teasing their friends. One is a funeral director, the other is a spirit. This shit writes itself. So you know when even Funimation points out that two characters look similar, you know it's a good versus idea. Jean versus Parasol from Skullgirls. Descendants of influential families within their nation. Both were raised to uphold their family legacy by one of their parents and took up main leadership of their nation. Both also have a younger sister that they worry about constantly. Kaya versus Claude von Reagan from Fire Emblem Three Houses. Men who appear mysterious and laid back at a glance, but are actually mischievous and charming once you get to know them. Both have a knack for throwing people off around them for their own purposes, and both are put into high positions despite being from different lands. This is one of the ideas that I think kind of just vibes with Kaya the most. For those out there, if you say the choreography for this fight would be bad because one person rides a wyvern and the other doesn't, just get creative, dummy. Come on, it's not that hard. Kamisatsu Ayaka versus Yumi from Senran Kagura. Elegant woman born and raised into prestigious clans and fight through manipulating ice. Also fans. This idea I think just vibes well with Ayaka since I don't know, they both have kind of similar vibes going on. They're kind of like, I think it'd be neat, honestly. Okay, so I can't think of any ideas for catching either, and I was gonna do the same method, but I'll be honest, I don't really like any of these, to be honest, so I think it's probably better if I just like went onto Twitter and find something there. Let's find out. Well, sure, this one, why not? Kazuha versus Lin from Fire Emblem The Blazing Blade. Sword wielders whose clans were seized, leaving them as wandering warriors. They also got a win motif going on and joined a band of heroes to overthrow the person that wronged them.
Hey guys, text-to-speech Narrow again. I forgot to say that the fight interactions would be simple yet sweet, since both are basic sword fighters. Also both Lin and Kazuha can do the thing where they slash around a ton of times leaving them as blurs and shit.
Klee versus Cherry Cookie from Cookie Run. Explosive happy people. Kujosara versus Ethel from Xenoblade Chronicles. High-ranking generals who are loyal to their rulers, fighting in a war until they realize the war was orchestrated by a higher power. Despite knowing this, they still remain loyal to their rulers to aid the protagonist in dismantling the one that pulling the strings. I like Sarah, I like Ethel. Good idea. I think. I don't know. Kuki versus Answer from Guilty Gear. Ninjas who work for dumb himbos and basically run things for them. Layla versus Linhardt from Fire Emblem Three Houses. Okay, so like, they're students, and they get sleepy a lot, and they're devoted to the research. Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Lisa versus Akeno from High School DD. Flirty ladies with electric powers that go ada, who are sadistic as shit if you get on their bad side. Lisa didn't really have anyone who isn't just like big bazonkers, so yeah. Mona versus Minat from Street Fighter, McFucking fortune tellers. They have like masters that are like very quirky. Nahida versus Theresa Apocalypse from Honkai Impact. If you didn't know, all the Archons from Genshin have like counterparts from Honkai, not the other MiHoYo series. And it's kind of obvious which one's who. And for this one, I picked Nahida versus Theresa because I like them a lot, and I think I like the options more for the other Archons. So yeah, here you go. Nilou versus Fina from Fire Emblem Mystery of the Emblem. Are you tired of Fire Emblem yet? Good, because there are at least 2 more match ideas here. Dancers known for their cheerful outlook in life. They mostly fight to support their teams, but carry a sword with them, because why not? So like, the obvious choice would have obviously been for Azura, but I feel like someone more cheery will probably match well with Nilou better. So I'm drawing a blank on Ningguang also, so I think it's probably better for, so I think I'll just look one up on Reddit and see what I get. This one, yeah, sure, why not? Let's go with it. Noelle versus maid character. Any of them. If I had to choose a favorite, I'd say Braum from League of Legends. Chi-Chi versus Bruno Bucciarati from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. They're zombies, moving on. Raiden versus Merlina from Sonic the Hedgehog. So the theme for this one is women who want to preserve their homes from decaying by seizing control and making their lands truly eternal. Raiden is another character in Genshin who has like a ton of options you could pull for her. And the one I came up with was Merlina, because I thought it matched shockingly well. And I think this one, like this idea works for both Raidens, because for the Shogun, it'd be a cool fight to pick with Shogun's like Awakened form versus like the Dark Queen form Merlina has. And for A, you can have a more story-focused fight where you can have A defying Merlina's ideals this time to show how much she's grown, and maybe show her like the light this time. Future me here, by the way, at the time of this recording, someone made like a fucking like TikTok video about Raiden fighting Merlina. I think that's funny as fuck. So yeah. Razor versus Inosuke from Demon Slayer. Teens who are abandoned by their parents only to be raised by animals in the wild. I got nothing else to say. Fucking Inosuke has like sword magic, and Razor, he has a stand. I guess it could be a cool fight. Rosaria versus Shamir from Fire Emblem Three Houses. Cold and mysterious women aligned with the churches despite being anti-religion, but despite this, they'll defend their churches by any means. Kokomi versus Mavis Vermilion from Fairy Tail. People who aren't fighters, but would rather lead their factions into battle thanks to their strategic prowess. Thank you for Carbonated Gem for this idea. It's very cool. Okay, so Sayu's next, and you know the drill. Let's just steal an idea from someone else. Alright, let's put this there. Yeah, here are the connections for you. Fucking, there you go. What do you want from me, huh? Shenhe versus Maui. Abandoned by their families, found and raised by higher beings, both desire to be appreciated and help the ones who abandoned them, chasing the love of those humans who make them feel wanted. They try to be tough. Hazel versus Kamen Rider Drive. They're like detective cops, and they're lazy. Yeah. I feel like you can have Hazel like believably throw hands with Drive, I guess. I don't know. Sucrose versus Roralina from Atelier? Atelier? I don't know. They're like socially awkward alchemists. Yeah, if you didn't know, I don't really know anything
about Atelier. Also epic, my mic didn't pick up the last bits of this section.
Tartaglia versus Jetstream Sam from Metal Gear. Battle-hungry rivals to the main character who live for the thrill of combat. Not the best for either, I'll be honest, but my favorite for both, because I like the two of them a lot. I think you can have a fun like fight dynamic between both, just like duh. But yeah, Toma versus An from Persona. They're fire users. Or blonde. That's another one. Are partially white. Tainari versus the Lorax. The Travelers versus Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses. sword fighters with skilled powers within them, and they both travel alongside a small female companion. May not be the best for both, but my pure, undying love for both characters and the games. But my pure, undying love for both the games and these characters hard carries this as one of my favorite ideas of all time. Also, little secret between you and me, I have a secret little project involving this match idea. When's it coming out? I don't fucking know. Venti versus Swiftmaster from Dungeon Fighter Online. They're short wind swings from gacha games. I'll be honest, all of Venti's ideas are kind of terrible. Like fucking Astolfo, fucking Aqua, like that's the popular one, but that one's shit, I'm gonna be real. So yeah, Swiftmaster, Wanderer versus Mordred from Fate. Artificial beings created by their nation's leader for a greater purpose but were deemed unworthy. This caused them to grow bitter and rebel against their creators, but over time, both grew out of this phase and forged their own paths. So this is coming someone from me who didn't finish the Archon quest. The new one I mean, the one that came out in 3.4. But maybe you can include Scar's mech in the beginning of the fight. I don't know, I'm just throwing that out there. And of course, both characters can probably tease each other because they both have like a light-hearted side to them. Something like that. Oh. Xiangling versus Jan from Guilty Gear, they're chef people, yay! Xiao versus Whisper from Sonic the Hedgehog. Masked warriors who became lone wolves after an evil tragedy wiped out their entire group, leaving them to sole survivors. I like this idea a lot because the masks, that's a cool aesthetic they both have. I know like Illidan from WoW is the popular idea because Death Battle mentioned its existence, but I don't really get it. So yeah, Whisper from Sonic the Hedgehog. I love Sonic the Hedgehog. Hey gamers, I completely ran out of ways to steal from people, so I feel like, and Sing Show's next, and I can't really find any ideas I like for him. So I feel like it's how about we do some research together and think and like do like a live theory craft on how to find a good idea for Sing Show. Let's see here. Let's read up on his lore. Okay. No. There's nothing here to get up from. Let's see. He's a bookworm. I can think of like maybe like Noah from Total Drama, maybe. Nah. Let's see. Fire breathing. What the? Wait a minute! Sinyan versus Ibuki Miyoda from Danganronpa. They're like the rock girls. Yaimiko versus Golden Glow from Arknights. Pink ladies with animal motifs and electric-based powers, and both can manifest summons to aid them in battle. But the thing that sells this idea more than anything, they have the same voice actor and literally came out a day apart from each other. That's so oddly specific that makes this the best Yaimiko idea out of all of them and renders all of her other ideas void. Yenfei versus Apollo Justice from the Ace Attorney series. Both grew up with a great sense of justice, desiring to grow up studying the law. Both also have a fucking special ass power that few of them have in their world. Honestly, hindsight, not that great of an idea, but you know what? Let's go see what other ideas, but you know what? Let's go see what other ideas people have for Yenfei. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Looks like I gotta look up. Let's see. Red She-Hulk, what the fuck? Yao Yao versus Cream the Rabbit. They're like bunny children. There's less to go off of for Yao Yao, so, Yelan versus Tifa Lockhart from Final Fantasy. Women who run shops, but they're a front for their actual businesses. Both also have special moves related to gambling, like fucking dice and Tifa's limit breaks. Like, huh? Mia versus Hanabi from Senran Kagura. They're firework women. Firework women, yeah. I'm starting to lose steam. Yunjin versus Athena Asamiya from Cycle Soldiers. Renowned idol with a passion and love for specific kinds of music, and are genuinely kind people. This one sucks, I'm sorry. And to end this video, you have the man himself, Zhongli. And it's gonna end on a shitty note because it's Metro Man from Megamind. Connections are heroic figures who fake their own deaths, fully believing that people are better off without them. Between all the Zhongli ideas, I feel like this is the one that vibes with me the most, because the specific connection of them faking their own deaths. But like, here's the thing with that one, Zhongli, he faked his death because he feel like the people of Liyue didn't need him, and for Metro Man, he felt like he just kind of did it on his own accord. So like, it's kind of different. We'll mention that another Zhongli idea I kind of liked is Suako from Toho Project, and the theme for that one is just retired Earth Gods. Not that great, but like, whatever. So that's the list. Was this a good idea? No, not really. I'm just glad that this is done, and I can finally move on and rest. Okay, well, I did include Yao Yao and Al, but mostly because they're coming soon, like especially soon. I mean, like, that's true, I guess. Fucking fine. See you guys in 2 years when they had Natlan. Natlan? I don't know.